There were broadly two jurisdictions or two sets of courts in 19th century Iran. The first were called Shar courts, Shar meaning Sharia, run by the clergy, of course, and they took care of what we today call civil law. The second jurisdiction, and most legal disputes were actually administered in this jurisdiction, were called urf courts. Urf means custom in Arabic. And in practice, these courts took care of most aspects of criminal law and what we today call administrative law. Law was not codified at all in the 19th century. Okay, Sharia, of course, was written down into multiple books of fiqh, which were kind of sometimes internally inconsistent and sometimes conflicted with each other. But the urf law was not codified at all. So the urf courts were very unpredictable, okay, and extremely arbitrary. And what we today call the crude and unusual punishments, which are often meted out in the urfi courts, which could be very, very brutal. On top of that, property rights were very, very weak in 19th century Iran. This was the function of a lack of a proper cadastral survey of the land, of who owned the land, okay, and a lack of centralization of land registration, which was often carried out by the clergy in their own homes. Property disputes could go on for generations sometimes, okay, without being resolved. Also, a common practice in the 19th century was something called nasikh wa mansukh, which means basically contradictory rulings. You could take a legal dispute, say a property dispute, to one court run by one mujtahid, okay? He would issue a ruling. The losing party could then take that same dispute to another court run by another mujtahid. He would issue a completely opposite ruling. They were both theoretically valid. And this practice caused all kinds of chaos in the judicial scenario in the 19th century, especially in connection with civil disputes and property rights.